morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. This is Brunch Boxing. I'm your host, Matt, and I'm here with the voice of Brunch Boxing, the master of the walk and talk, the master of the sit and spit, the leader of our picks contest, Mr. Ezra Boxer. What's going on, Ezra?
I'm excited, man. It's been nothing but just a great schedule, great fights, weekend after weekend, and it continues today. So I'm very, very excited.
The reason why I bring up the picks contest is because I think it's going to flip on your head today because we are going against each other once again. So, also, we have the producer of Brunch Boxing, the master marionette himself, Mr. Huey P. What's going on, Huey?
Doing good, doing good. Just getting the day started. Unfortunately, we had some setbacks in what was supposed to be an exciting night of fights, but we will see how this goes.
Oh, I'm still excited because we are
Still
going
am too,
to.
but I was really looking forward to that Aleem fight.
Yeah, yeah, we'll get into that, but we got to start with the huge news that dropped like a bomb on boxing last night. According to Sports Illustrated's Chris Mannix, Shakur Stevenson has signed a huge deal with Zuffa Boxing. Ezra, what were your initial thoughts when you heard this?
Well, I was stunned. I was very, very, very surprised. That Shakur was a guy that I never thought would be like a guy that they were gonna be able to get that would be interested in going there. It seemed like to me like Shakur's a guy that values the system we have today, and he's a guy that wants to collect a lot of belts and get all the recognition and all that. So I'm very surprised, but I think that a key part of it that's very surprising to me is that Zuffa's willingness to spend. And the one thing that I said was, if they're going to compete in a market that they're not the monopoly of, or they don't have, they weren't the first one there, or they don't have like the brand, the strongest of the brand like UFC has, well, then the fighters are still going to get paid because they're going to be competing with Eddie Hearn, competing with De La Hoya, competing with PBC, competing with Top Rank. So there is actual bidding wars happening here, and that's what's going to drive up the value of these fighters. It definitely seems the one thing I thought that would hold back Zuffa was their lack of willingness to pay fighters. And I said, well, man, it would take a lot of years to kind of to make that shift of getting a bunch of prospects or guys that are overlooking and build them. But that's not been their strategy. Their strategy has been to pay, 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 and get as much big names as possible on the roster.
I think you're right about that in some ways. Here's the thing that I'm wondering: is Shakur really signed to Zuffa?
That's
Is he
fair.
going
Yeah.
to be fighting on Paramount, or is this just going to be the same thing we saw with Conor Ben, where Conor Ben was wink wink signed to Zuffa, but yet he was fighting on a regular ring card with Tyson Fury as the headliner on Netflix.
Yeah, well, I know, but I think we know now, right? That the Conor Ben signed that one fight deal just so Eddie Hearn couldn't match it, and then they got a long term deal with them, right? So I think that was more what that is. I am curious because I know I did uh, think about that. Like, is it going to be like just the ring card and he'll fight one guy and those things? But I don't know. That technically has not been the case yet, right? Like I said, Conor Ben did sign a long term deal. We kind of know what that was. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. What that first deal was. So we'll see. But I'm just saying though, if they can get Shakur, I do think that that is a pretty big step. Um, in as fact getting the names that are like big names in boxing. If they get Shakur, that's a really big name.
Well, I'll tell you this: if I'm Zuffa Boxing, I don't put Shakur Stevenson on Paramount at all. I just don't do it. I think not enough people are watching Paramount Plus. They don't have enough subscribers of boxing to justify it. If you're Zuffa, I put Shakur on CBS.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's an excellent move. Yeah, 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 definitely. And I don't know if you noticed, but Zuffa started to announce cards in actual places where fans are going to be in. Right. They got some fights where fans are actually going to be in. So it looks like they're finally trying to make their way now to go into city to city, and that'd be a perfect fight to start in New York or New Jersey. Right. Like that'd be a perfect area to get Shakur in a big fight. Yeah, I think you're right. What do you think about Shakur's career if he signs with Zuffa?
I mean, if he's getting a bunch of money, his career is just fine. I do think that It eliminates him from the running from certain fights. But here's the thing: the most important one, Javante Davis, we didn't think that was happening anyway, right?
No, no, that wasn't good.
So what is he really losing out on? Especially if we're to believe the rumors that Devin Haney has also signed with Zuffa. So if you look at the landscape at Zuffa, you have Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Connor Ben, to a lesser extent, Richardson Hitchens. You have Brandon Lee. You have all these guys in and around the same weight class. I think Zuffa's best bet would be to match them all off and see if they could hit lightning when it comes to ratings or revenue with one of these fights.
Yeah, I think if they get Devin Haney and you get Shakur, obviously that's a matchup, right? One other interesting we kind of haven't brought up is Zuffa does not have a 140-pound division. Okay, so he would have to go to welterweight if that's the case. If you're Shakur,
Well, I
Yet.
don't know if
They don't
Zuffa
have a
doesn't have a
140
140
pound
pound
division
division.
yet.
I think I feel like Zuffa is just signing who they can sign, and then they'll build the fights around those guys and call it whatever division they want to call it.
Mhm.
which is smart, I would say, right? You probably the one thing that I've noticed from them, the two things I've noticed from them, they're not running this the same business model that we assumed that they were running, right? They are not doing that. As far as pay, next thing is they are treating boxing pretty much like a part of their big three as far as like UFC and WWE. I thought they were gonna like slowly step into boxing, collect this pay, whatever the free pay they were gonna get from the Saudis, the free pay they were gonna get from Paramount, and just kind of run out with some guys and see what happens. But now they are super aggressive. This is a super aggressive attempt because you got to make also try to make a deal with Bam, right? Like these are super aggressive attempts of really trying to make an impact in boxing at a much faster rate than I thought they would be. Not sure that's the best idea, but they have the funding behind it to really make this attempt to get aggressive. But yeah, that's what I'm noticing. If he comes though, the problem we have here is because already now, like he had interesting opponents, but he didn't have like mega fights ahead of him. The Teal fight was probably the biggest fight that he could get at 140 currently. Like we said, the Tank fight at 135, which was nowhere near a sure thing. Then we have to start going to like 147 for like Ryan Garcia and Haney. But you're losing any of the light depth that you had. You're losing all of that in Zuffa, right? Like even if you get Haney, you got to build up. You got to build up to that Haney fight. I doubt that they go straight into the Haney.
No, no, this is where you're making a mistake.
You think go straight to him?
You have to go straight to it. Big event, Haney versus Stevenson, and then you stack the undercard with guys that you want to basically want people to see. You
Okay.
have to go straight to it. You have
Well,
to. The fight
that
needs no marination. We all know Shakur. We all know Devin Haney. We've seen the back and forth already. Both guys are coming off really good victories. Shakur coming off the huge victory against Tiafimo. Devin Haney earned his reputation back with a victory over Brian Norman. Why would Zuffa make the same mistake that
no,
we claim that boxing always
no.
makes
That's
by
you're right.
marinating the fight?
No, you're right because the standard boxing, if this happened, you would see Shakur versus Lee, and maybe even Haney versus Hitchens, and then they would match up with each other, or something like that. So that would be like standard boxing. Yeah, you're right. I mean, if they're not doing it that way, then that go straight to it. That makes a lot of sense. Build a name, build a big event, put it on CBS. That'd be fantastic.
Now, how much truth to the rumors are there, do you believe? Do you actually believe we're going to see Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson sign with Zuffa Boxing?
Listen, the only thing I saw for Shakur that caught me off guard is this Chris Mannix report, right? I don't know if Chris Mannix would put himself out like that to because that's a big one to try to break, not have for sure information. The Haney one, we have a lot of rumblings. I was surprised at Haney, but I'm not like stunned as far as like if they're willing to pay. I think Haney and them will be willing to go, right? Uh, but the Shakur one did kind of shock me. If that does happen, I mean, that's to me, it creates an opening that anyone can go to Zuffa, and the aggressiveness are going. I think a lot of guys will start going to Zuffa. You know what I mean? You get Shakur and Haney, then like I said, anyone's possible to go over there. And all they need to get is a few solid names in every weight class to really shift the momentum of this thing.
Yeah. Now, how much of a influence do you think Paramount is going to have on this situation? Because they paid TKO a whole hell of a lot of money for UFC, and word on the street is that they also gave them a little extra for Zuffa boxing. Why the hell would they want things to marinate instead of just being aggressive and getting the most bang for their buck?
No, yeah, that makes sense. Like I said, if I always say if TKO and Zuffa run business how every other promotion runs business, they're gonna lose. So they got to run it, like you said, the best versus the best. That's what they're selling. That's their whole thing. We come here, we don't have to create great storylines or play these games. We could just put the best versus the best, and you'll get to the best outcome. That would be the smart strategy to go there. And people would, Zuffa would have a fight that everyone respects. No one can say, "Oh, this is the lower. This is the highest of the high." If you have Haney versus Shakur, you have one of the highest level fights. You have a fight that everyone's talking about. You have a fight that every diehard boxing fan is going to tune into. You got every fight that every one that respects the art of boxing, everything is going to tune into. So that would put them on a legitimate, on a legitimate basis in boxing.
Shakur, Devin, Hitchens, Berlanga, Ben, are we seeing an influx of the younger generation of stars moving over to Zuffa? And if so, where does it end and who's next?
I think that for what we were seeing for a while, where I thought guys that were never going to be the top level guys, but had some kind of name value, and they were going there, and that made sense.
Yeah, like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson.
But when you get Shakur and you get Devin Haney, you're getting guys that are legit at the top of their game, legit names in the sport. I think Shakur is one of the bigger names in the sport. Um, and if you get them, I just think that just kind of changes everything. It's I'm trying to think of like the wrestling, like comparison to
Analogy.
wrestling. Yeah, like who went over to be like, oh damn, this is. Oh, I guess.
You would think when all the WWF guys went over to WCW at first, you had Hogan, Savage, eventually you had Hall and Nash and Sean Waltman, aka 123 Kid at the time. You had all these guys going over from WWF over to WCW.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah, or even like the AEW, like Daniel Bryan, them going over to being like, oh, okay, well, we got something we got to pay attention to. This seems like this is them really implementing themselves. Like, hey, we're not. There's really no insult you can make towards it if they do that. Like, hey, this is legit. We got legit guys over here. We have some of the best of the world guys, and that's really something they need to do. They need guys to say, hey, I'm the best in the world. When you watch this product, I'm the best in the world, and that I think that if you get Shakur and Haney, you start having that claim.
Now, one guy who is a free agent reportedly, he lost his last fight to Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. He kind of poo-pooed Devin Haney going over to Zuffa when it was rumored. Could we potentially see Teofimo Lopez heading over to Zuffa?
I wouldn't be stunned. I wouldn't be stunned in that at all. Another guy like Ryan Garcia, who he has a deal right now, but he's bringing up Conor Benn. I want Conor Benn. I want the Conor Benn fight. I just like I would not be stunned if you start seeing guys just jump over, even if they were negative about it. Like I said, the a brand, like the relevance of a brand or how you feel towards a brand, can change instantly. And like I said, if it starts getting legitimate and all that, then people will just start going for it. And like I said, the money talks. If you're going to pay the guy more money than the other promoter, then why the hell wouldn't they do it? I mean, that's the main part of this was the money. That's the whole thing that we had really against it was like, if they ain't paying, who the hell's going to go over there? Well, it looks like they're paying.
Yeah, well, not only do they have to pay, I know you remember this, what I called the turkey tax.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's the point in going over there for money that I can make elsewhere? You're gonna have to overpay to get me because you've shown no ability to build a star and have me break the bank. So you're gonna have to overpay. I'll take some guarantee money, and then I'll come over there.
I agree. I agree, and it looks like they're willing to do that. And like I said, when they were getting Conor Ben, I just didn't. To me, when people were making such a big deal of that, I just didn't think that was that big of a deal. Because I didn't think Conor Ben had the talent. So the thing is, you could say, oh, this guy's a name, just like Berlanga, but he doesn't have the talent. So it's like, hey, I could have easily seen Conor Ben losing to one of the lower level guys that they have, or not lower level, no name guys that Zuffa has, one of the up and coming guys. I could see Conor Ben losing that fight, like to one of those guys, right? So that was like, to me, I was like, that's not going to have the impact. It's not going to have the staying power that you think it is. But what that was a sign of just they're willing to pay. And I thought, I started to think that when they almost had Bam, right? I said, oh, well, that's it. That's interesting, right? They're willing to pay Bam Rodriguez there. So, yeah, I don't know. I think
Now
I
we
was
we all
talking.
agree. We all agree that Shakur would be their most talented fighter, their most talented signing yet.
Yes.
But can you sell Shakur without the right strategic matchups?
I think Shakur's a big name now. Shakur was always doing big numbers on ESPN, and he didn't have great matchups on ESPN. I think that we're downplaying this guy's star power a little bit. And like I said, those two brands together, and that whole TKO system environment ecosystem behind them, I do think that they could do something special with them. But you do need a Haney, a Connor Ben. Maybe you could build that up, and people get excited as far as like people that don't really watch boxing that much could get excited about that. But yeah, like I said, the depth is not there. You're gonna see what they are as far as their roster because they're gonna need to make a lot of moves to add depth for him to fight.
What are the odds of Ryan Garcia going over to Zuffa if his contract with Oscar De La Hoya ever ends?
Oh, I think shoot. I mean, 50-50, right? I can easily see him going over there. I don't think that'd be stunning at all if Ryan Garcia went over there. I don't think that was a guy that he was always a guy that really didn't even like value the belts. He really was that guy who always talked about, I don't need the belts. The fighters that think that guy if he gets paid and he gets the right opportunity and these guys have like the networks they want to put him on and all these things, I think people will start jumping over.
I'm not too sure about Ryan going. I think what Oscar De La Hoya is building right now, especially if he continues to strategically collaborate with PBC, I think they'll be doing just fine. But I do have to wonder now, do we believe that maybe Zuffa was one of those interested parties that tried to overpay for Virgil Ortiz and got him all in a tizzy with Golden Boy?
Maybe, right? Like I mean that you can't eliminate that. You can't eliminate that. I'm curious. I know what you're going to answer, but I just want to throw it out there. Does do the other promotions need to make a UBO?
No.
And you don't think that the other promotions to work together, build a system with the rosters they have, and make a UBO?
No. What the other promotions need to do is what they've been doing. When there is a fight that the public wants that makes dollars and cents, SENSE, then we need to make it happen. That's all. David Benavidez versus Zerto Ramirez, it made sense. So they made it happen. Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios made sense. They made it happen.
Can you spell sense again for me?
SENSE.
Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure.
I love when your
Ezra thought you
autism.
said C in there. I
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
like,
guarantee it.
about to. I was
yeah, I
about
was like,
to.
what's going on with that word? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Um, Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. Supposedly they're gonna try to make it. It's like there are fights that are there to be made. But I want to touch on the Devin Haney of it all because Devin Haney, according to him and his daddy Bill, everything was good with the
why,
deal.
why, daddy? Like, why in the insulting way like that?
What? That's his daddy.
Come on, man. Come on. All right, go ahead.
According to him and his daddy Bill, Everything was good with the offer that PBC sent them to fight Rolly Romero. PBC, they were really under the impression that they were going to have Devin Haney against Rolly Romero. And then in the 11th hour, Devin Haney all of a sudden is not liking the deal. He hates this. Rolly's doing this. The fight's not happening. Would you consider Devin Haney signing with Zuffa Boxing official recognition of ducking Rolly Ramirez?
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, but like he's probably gonna get paid fat if he signs with Zuffa. Right, sorry to pay fat, but yeah, I think it is. I think it is. I think that it's one of the few times I've seen Haney drop the ball in his career as far as like matchmaking and like career moves. It's one of the few times. So the two times that I've seen it is him not getting a rehydration with Ryan Garcia missing weight. I mean that was ridiculous. Number two is this one not taking the Rolly fight when I did not think that'd be possible. I did not think Rolly would be interested in that fight, and the fact that they had that there, Rolly was interested in it. They wanted to get it made and he passed up on it, and it looks like Ryan's going to get it. It was, to me, another time he's going to drop the ball. But let's see if him and Shakur end up on Zuffa, then then there
Yeah,
was
but they got to fight each other right
yeah. If they
away.
fight each other, that avoids the duck, though, right?
But they got to do it right away.
Okay, that's fair. But if they do, though, that it's not a duck.
Well, you can't duck one guy to fight someone that's probably better.
Yeah, not probably, but yes, yes.
Well, here's the thing. I say probably because we don't know what Shakur Stevenson is at 147 pounds.
Oh.
I'll tell you this. If Shakur Stevenson fought Rolly Romero at 147 pounds, that might not go the way you think it's going to go, Mr. Ezra Breakdown. I'll tell you that right now.
That's all right. Yeah, I would watch it. No doubt about it. I would watch it.
All right, we have a couple comments from the listeners with this topic. MJ Jackson wants to know, have y'all ever had y'all man box eaten out with pop rocks by a homie? Wait a damn minute.
What are you talking about?
Wait
Matt,
a
what are you reading? I
damn
removed
minute.
that comment.
Wait a damn minute.
You're an idiot, dude.
That is not part of the show. That is not part
Matt,
of the
did you
show.
screenshot that comment so you could read it?
Oh man.
Because you're not reading that shit live.
Oh man. According to Allen Day Sr., Golden Boy isn't building anything significant. I
Oh, I
disagree.
don't agree with that. I do not agree with that.
Yeah, I disagree.
And you said okay, like no, they don't need a UBO or whatever. Okay, but I think I definitely see Golden Boy and PBC a partnership. Maybe not official, but I see a partnership happening there. I see two promotions working together to make the best fights they can with their stables. Now, if we look at this TNT fight, you got Abdullah Mason on TNT. The key part of that is that that's with DAZN, and the promotions available to it are all the promotions that work with DAZN, right? So that is not a Matchroom deal. That's not a Queensberry deal. That's not a Top Rank deal. That's a deal of like the best fights that we can make, we're gonna put on here. Yeah, maybe not an official UBO, but that is a bunch of promotions working together to make the
Yeah,
best
but
fights we can
promotions
make.
have always been working together, Ezra.
To me, this is more of a partnership than we've seen before. I get you. You're right. Of course, there's always been cross promotion, but not quite like this in a while. Not quite like this in a while. But since maybe the when Turkey came in and had everybody on the same card, but I'm talking about really without Turkey, just them working together.
Okay. Okay. Now, I just think I lost my train of thought. I just drew a blank. That Pop Rocks, he got me thinking. Got me thinking,
All
man.
right, Matt, what do you think of J Ro's question here or his
I don't know J-Ro's
statement?
question.
So J Ro's statement is he said he didn't ask a question. His statement. So it is a duck. Haney could have fought Rolly and still had time to fight Shakur and Zuffa. No matter what it is, it's a duck.
Oh, I agree with that 100%. And I thought I found it very funny that a lot of guys like Allen Day Sr. were definitely Team Haney. Everything Haney. Now all of a sudden that Haney duck Rolly, I saw Allen Day Sr. said PBC is barely a functional business. Hey, guess what? They functioned well enough to make a great offer for Devin Haney versus Rolly Romero. I think we're at the point where it's just a matter of people are gonna root for who they root for. They're gonna side with their guys no matter what. But I will warn all of you, don't let people put you in a position where you have to defend the indefensible. We should have been prepping for Rolly versus Devin 2 weeks from now in New York or Las Vegas. We should have been prepping for that. And then if Devin Haney is who he thinks he is, he could have been the conquering hero going over to Zuffa with 2 belts instead of 1 belt. But that's not happening now, is it? No. No, 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 no. But it is what it is at this point. Um, Zuffa, they've been in existence basically since the end of January. They're coming up on their 6th card. How you feeling about Zuffa right now, Ezra?
I think it's an entertaining product as far as like the fights are pretty decent. There's no like, oh, I can't miss this yet on there, right? There's nothing that, but as far as like building up a promotion, I think that that's the smart way to do it. It's gonna, of course, there was gonna be criticism to it, but you have to build it up like with at a lower level and fighting in their little like gym area thing. It makes sense as far as like you got to learn how the production works, what doesn't. Um, like it's just like building a business, and the only problem is that it has a really big name already, right? So you're everybody's watching it and criticizing it. The thing, I get that, but it looks like they're taking the show on the road. I do like the fight this Sunday. I think that there's some good fights. I don't love the main event, but I like the fights on the card. Um, and the show's gonna go on the road, and it looks like they're gonna try to do bigger fights. They're gonna try to grow the thing. So it's right now to me, it's just too early in the form to be like super critical of it. I think that that's the way you should attack it. I think a lot of times these promotions get into things like a Triller or something like that and try to do the biggest thing right away, and they don't know anything about it. Try to do the biggest thing right away. You gotta slow roll it out to really learn the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Is going
Um,
to the Cosmo in Vegas really branching out?
yes,
They're going to Sheffield too.
Oh, okay.
yes.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
And they're going to Bournemouth. So that they're going all over. But Ezra, how do you feel about the week Zuffa is having? Because they have dominated the boxing headlines this week.
Bro, it's been listen, not just Zuffa, TKO. TKO is having the best week of TKO ever. They're having the best week. We had the Gingerbread Man funeral on WWE SmackDown. You have Roman Reigns versus Fatu, which I think has actually been pretty damn good build up, pretty damn good storytelling in there. So I think WWE after WrestleMania, which been people real negative, I think heading in the right direction. You go to UFC, we have a fight that I'm actually excited about. I haven't been excited about a UFC fight in forever. We have a fight tonight that I am like, there's actual hate in there. Then you have they're obviously trying promoting more for UFC fights than ever before. I think they got the message like, hey, you're throwing zero effort out there. No one's a thing. Now they got actual hate. They got these press conferences that are heated. The thing, and now boxing they announced they're going to sign. Well, rumored to announce that they're going to sign Shakur. That's a hell of a week for them. That's a hell of a week.
Yeah, yeah. I think I agree, this is the best week they've ever had, but not anything doing with Shakur or any of the reasons you say.
Okay.
I think this is the best week that they've ever had, depending on what happens on Sunday. So to me, the Zuffa boxing experiment begins in earnest on Sunday.
Okay.
They've had their 5 events so far. They've done little matchups that we all like. They've had some bangers, some knockout cards. Even this week, they have an excellent gulag match between Shane Mosley Jr. and Serhii Bohachuk. But to me, the most important thing that they're doing is Rakhmatalo Boymatov is fighting. Who? You have no clue who that is, right?
Yeah.
I have no clue who that is. He is a decorated amateur from Uzbekistan who resides in Indio, California now. He's 22 years old, and guess what? He is making his professional boxing debut on Sunday on Zuffa Boxing. I judge people not by the toys they could put together that other people have already built. I judge people based upon who they can build. So now you have Zuffa Boxing, who has a guy starting from 0-0. Can they build a guy in boxing? So to me, this is the most important week in Zuffa boxing. I want to see what Boy Matov can do. I want to see what Zuffa can do. I want to see if the machine is real, and we are going to find out starting on Sunday.
Okay, all right. I will say this, just a warning. People want to say what happened to UFC and everything like that, what they did. I'm just gonna tell you, a lot of Eastern European fighters. You start signing a lot of Eastern European fighters. It's hard to build a fan base for them here. It's hard to keep people excited about fighters that they really, they don't resemble their culture, or they don't have a big fan base behind them here in the States. And the U.S. market is huge. Now, I think we always should just try to get the best fighters, but I'm just saying though, in the UFC, I think the crucial blow to star power was so many basing your whole roster on the top guys being Eastern European.
I don't think it was the Eastern European prospects and fighters necessarily itself. And we'll get off this topic because I'm going to bring it back to boxing here. Because you do have that in boxing. You have people get behind people like Triple G, Arthur Beterbiev, Sergey Kovalev. You have this. It's the style of fighters that those guys in MMA fight. If they can get the entertaining fighters, if they can get the right fighters, then it doesn't matter.
I would just say when you're like top rank in your I'm just gonna say throughout time when you base your whole thing like a guy like Janibek or something like that, it's just hard to build that fan base. Look at Triple G was what was his whole expression? He had the Mexican style, right? Like the thing that built, they built a fan base on that. But he also worked because he was Canelo's rival. He worked because Canelo was there. There was a rival to be there, right? Kovalev didn't really work. Even at his biggest fight, he was never a star.
Sure, you're right. You're right. I mean,
yeah,
you're
like
right.
even with Andre Ward,
he wasn't a big star, but I mean, people cared about watching him fight.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, even like with Andre Ward, which should have been like a legitimate, that's a big rivalry. You got a gold medalist, and you got the like a Russian fighter to fight him or whatever, huh?
That shit went double wood.
Yeah, exactly, right. So pause, but.
Did you really pause?
It's really hard to build Eastern European fighters. And if you better have a hell of a promotional idea, or he must have some hell of a personality, like Triple G, the way he talked, the way his knockouts, his thing, and all this thing, and they based him in LA, it worked, what they did with him. But everything else is very, very hard. And that's what I'm saying. They're going to have an easy time signing European fighters. I'm going to tell you that right now. Eastern European fighters, that's going to be their easiest ones to sign. That is going to be, it's going to be like just the lowest hanging fruit. They're going to be able to do that. You have to have the thing to be like, make sure we're building this U.S. market, though. You got to look at what works in boxing and all that and what hurt the UFC.
The Eastern European fighters, you say it'll be easy to build, but can they build any of them into an attraction?
No. I don't say it's easy to build. It's going to be easy to sign them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that build's going to be hard as hell.
Okay.
Yeah, that build's going to be nearly impossible. No one has consistently done that. And a lot of guys this isn't a new idea. The people have had this idea before. This is almost an impossible task to do.
You know what's funny? I kind of feel like when you focus on the Eastern European, you end up going out of business.
Yeah,
we saw that with
with
HBO. We saw that with Top Rate ESPN. It's like once you start focusing on these guys that once you start focusing on these guys that we in the United States of America don't care about, you kind of lose market share.
Yeah, you got to have an American or maybe a fighter from Mexico that could rival them. Right, that's how you build them up. It's like you build them up as like the rival to it, right? But if you're gonna have this division is ran by two Eastern European fighters, good luck. I'll just tell you right now, Bivol Beterbiev never happens. This is the one I'll give credit to Turkey. That fight never happens if he's not in there because there was no money to make that fight, and no one understood. No one wanted to just say that there was no money to make that fight. That fight was not gonna make money.
Yeah, I think we all agreed to that. That was like one of the fights that when it started happening, we were having those conversations about like what fights Turk giving us that we wouldn't have gotten. That was the one that people brought up because of the money that was involved. But like you bring up a good point. I mean, if you can't sell pay-per-views and you can't sell tickets, where's your revenue coming from?
Exactly. And so the what I think that they've done, their guys that they're bringing up, I think they could have fan bases. Like if these are just guys that just weren't given a chance, and if they could catch fire, I think that they could turn these guys into something. But like I said, the low hanging fruits, they're always going to be the Eastern European fighters. Um, and if they go and say, "Oh, this is where we're going to build these guys" and stuff like that, it won't work. It won't work.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll see though. But like I said, the experiment begins in earnest on Sunday with Boymatov. So we will see what they do with that. Let's move on to the other big story in boxing, at least in my estimation. Canelo Alvarez is back in the news and active in the news. I guess he was not happy seeing all the love that David Benavidez was getting because now Canelo Alvarez says that he promises to reclaim his Mexican holidays. Here's the exact quote from Canelo. He says, uh, Cinco de Mayo will always be an important date for me and my career. This year there was no fight, but we'll see each other at the next one in September. More information soon. And for those who wanted it in Espanol, el Cinco de Mayo siempre será una fecha importante para mí y mi carrera. Este año no toco pelear, pero nos vemos en la 50 de septiembre.
Well,
Pronto, más información.
Just so
and
you know,
what
Ezra took every single part of that as offensive.
I had no idea that Carrera was for career, Spanish for career.
What did you think it was?
Never even heard the word before. I thought that was
Oh,
a
wow.
Toyota car.
Wow, disrespecting my people.
What? Hold on. Matt, get on with the story.
I know like 5 people that drive a Toyota Carrera
Now, Ezra, first of all, why is Canelo speaking out this week of all weeks?
because David Benavidez had a star-making performance. People booed Canelo when he interviewed in the crowd, and he is feeling self-conscious that he might uh, avoiding this Benavidez fight might have long-term effects on his legacy. And I think that also Canelo is a little bit afraid that maybe the end's here, and he's trying to push back on that end of his career. I don't think Canelo wants to end his career anytime soon. I don't think Canelo is looking at his career anytime soon. So he wants to continue, but he don't want to take a back seat. That's one thing Canelo's not going to do. He's not going to try to take a back seat to someone. But it's very funny to me to say, hey, these dates mean a lot to me, and I'm going to continue to secure these dates, catch my next fight, which will be in Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? Like it's this is uh this is Fat Elvis. I gotta tell you, this is Fat Elvis part of his career. And when you avoid something, like I said, you can't avoid your fate. You can only choose to decide how you meet it. And he didn't meet it. He didn't meet it with David Benavidez, and he fought Crawford. And he thought he had beat the game. He thought he had tricked the game, and he still took the loss. But the only problem was it was a brutal loss to a guy that was jumping up in weight. That really showed levels. The problem with that fight really is the level difference that it looked like versus him, because he had the size. So you were just like, okay, well, is Crawford skilled enough? He's not that skilled to where he's gonna be able to just outbox Canelo, and Canelo's not gonna do anything even with the weight advantage. Well, that's really what it looked like. So even worse on his legacy, because you people were talking like Canelo was, an all-time great fighter. I think the Crawford thing really knocked that down into perspective. If he loses to Benavidez, I don't think it does that. I think it was just a passing of the guard. If he loses to Benavidez, I think you just say, okay, that's it. And he could still have fights after that. That's the thing. He didn't have to retire, but he went out and said, okay, I'm not the guy anymore. This is the guy. And then people would have respect for it. It would have been all right. And then he could have had fights and said, hey, I'm still looking to do some things. And people would have accepted it. But that's not what happened. And you're seeing the cracks in his confidence.
Now, let me ask you a question. Speaking of cracks, you say that Canelo's in his Fat Elvis era of his career.
Yes.
What fight is Elvis on the toilet?
I think it might be in Beasley. I'm telling you guys.
No,
And let me
come
tell you why. And
on.
what he just said right now kind of proves everything that what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like it doesn't pass the sniff test. But the reason why he's thinking in Billy is because there's Canelo's not the point right now where he could fight a nobody and people are gonna tune in. He's not gonna fight nobody and people are gonna respect it. So he knows he has to fight a legit dude. So that's why they're putting in Billy in there. That's really what it is. I'm telling you, they are miscalculating this fight. They are miscalculating this fight. And I'm telling you, Canelo's gonna be slower. He's gonna be cardio issues. His power is not there anymore. The preciseness of his shots is not there anymore.
Precision.
And I think he's just gonna come up short in this fight.
I think this
Now, is
guy's tailor
preciseness
made
a
for
word?
him. I don't think it is.
Huey, hit the Webster's dictionary. Is preciseness a word? This will be the
I don't
second
think
time.
preciseness is a word. I'm not gonna look it up. We don't fact check here, but
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
Look it up. What are we doing here?
Because you know what? You know what I realized? You talk like Donald Trump, where you be using words from like the 1600s that no one uses, but it happens to be a word.
This is preciseness.
But Matt, to answer your question, I think he gets Mbili. I think he walks Mbili into something. Plus, I mean, Mbili has the same gas tank issues that Canelo does. Maybe not as severely at this point of Canelo's career, but he still suffers from it. Iglesias is the answer that you're looking for.
He'll never fight him.
If they make
We
that
have
fight,
a rule in Ezra.
Okay.
Preciseness is, in fact, in the dictionary.
did he hold on? Did he use it correctly?
It says it is labeled an obsolete word, but it does exist.
They need to bring it back. That's what I'm saying. You guys understand?
Ezra is one of these people that mistakes into shit being correct.
No, what I'm doing is, I'll tell you what I'm really doing.
No, you're doing the weekend at Birdie's.
what I'm doing is, I know that this word should be used this way. I'm kind of like a trendsetter when it comes to words. I don't go with a thing. I'm like, no, this word fits better here. It works better here. And then I plug it in. This is the second time I've done this.
Bigly.
Huh?
Bigly. Oh shit! I wonder if Kofifi is a real word. But anyway, here's the thing with Canelo, right? He's really showing a real jealous streak of David Benavidez. You know, that's very, very weird. But you think that he can't reclaim his Mexican holidays?
Okay, let's just go down the line. Okay,
because I think he can.
Let's say David goes to Bivol next. Let's say David actually gets Bivol next.
Okay.
How does Canelo match that?
Let me ask you a question. Does PBC have the balls to put David versus Bivol Mexican Independence Weekend?
Why not? Canelo's going in the morning.
That's not my question. I know you think you're some bold maverick. Does PBC have the balls to do that?
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, they do. They do. And let me tell you why. Canelo's going in the morning.
Canelo, they can be they can be across the street. They do.
Bro, yes, they do. It'd be stupid not to, because you're going to at least have all the fans be able to go to that fight. You're at least going to have all the fans be able to go to that fight.
Now here's
I'm going to tell you right now.
If it's anyone other than Bivol, if it's anyone other than Bivol, and maybe better Beav, I don't know, man.
I don't think PBC does it regardless of who he's fighting next.
Well, let me tell you this. Okay, what if you have Pitbull as a co-main?
PBC doesn't do it.
Bro, let me tell you something. I'm just going to tell you right now. PBC, you have something here special. You saw it. We all saw it with David. We saw it. You have something special here. You have Pitbull ready to go. Build the card. And if Bivol want to step up and fight him, move him to heavyweight. Build the card on the thing. Take the date. If David Benavidez wants to fight Canelo, it's not going to be in the ring. It'll be in the box office. David, this is the move. Push for that date. Tell him I want to go head up with him. What fight does it? Is it Andy Ruiz? Get Andy Ruiz in the ring. Is it Is it Deontay Wilder? Let's get him in the ring. Is it Bivol? Can we get him in the ring? Is it Benjamin? Can we get him in the ring? Let's make that fight. Let's do it. David, you're not going to get a chance with him in the ring, but take this from him. You can see the cracks. Go and take that.
I think it's going to be very hard for him to take these days from Canelo. And I do think Canelo can reclaim these Mexican holidays. And here's how he'll do it. Cinco de Mayo, 2027, Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez. They fight for the right to the holiday.
Bro, stop bringing up that fight.
You still haven't given up on this fight, huh, Matt?
There's no reason to give up on it.
What weight is it happening at?
175.
No fucking shot.
175.
No fucking chance.
You know, I was thinking about
How would I know?
would
I hate when people do that.
what is that called when someone does that?
It's idiocy.
Canelo's whole thing with David was like he doesn't have that much ability. He's just big, right? Like that's the whole thing. And then he goes and watches David move up in weight and be the smaller man and just dispatch Zurdo Ramirez and just get rid of all that, right? Everything that he said, just get rid of all that, just shake all that off. It's just like the hand speed, the combinations, the defense, everything. Just put the full in effect right there in front of him. Oh man, I can only imagine what he felt like watching that.
So here's another thing that we haven't taken into consideration. Can David get back down to 175 by September?
Yeah, definitely could.
Oh, safely, where he feels like full of strength and effectiveness.
Yeah, I don't think David.
If I'm David Benavidez, right? The most important thing for me, especially if my next fight is Bivol, the most important thing is that I feel 100% going into this fight. Because let's be honest, this is not a fight that he could afford to lose.
No, he can't. He can't. He can't afford to lose. I think he'll be okay. And like I said, with David right now, where you're at, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices, no matter what, to get the fight you want to see. Because
that's the question: is somebody like Dimitri Bivol gonna have a quick turnaround?
Absolutely not.
If fights Eifert and there's a big payday for him, I don't feel confident that Bivol's even gonna take this fight. But if he fights Eifert and there's a huge payday for him, why not? Because I mean, Eifert, we all know it's just a tune-up. It's just a thing. So why not?
Well, to me personally, I think this fight doesn't happen, and it won't be because David Benavidez doesn't want it.
Yeah, obviously, no fights ever not happened because David Benavidez didn't want it.
Exactly. And here's the thing, right? So if you don't have Bivol, I don't think it's Birbiev because I think Birbiev still thinks the Bivol fight's happening, right? So I don't think it's Birbiev. You start running out of options here. That's the one thing we're not talking about. Is there's not a lot of options here. I don't think his next fight's going to be at cruiserweight because there's no one there to fight at cruiserweight. He's not going to get Jai. Okay, I don't think that. Huh?
Mikhalian.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a name, but it's a unification.
Yeah, but no one's gonna give a crap about that, right? No one's gonna do that. No one's gonna care about that.
And we're gonna do that fucking Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you're to me, I know we're saying that the heavyweight's not a possibility, and unfortunately for David, it might be forced upon him as far as if you want big fights. Like I keep saying though, there's a way to do it, right? Where you get the matchups that are favorable to him and you work his way through it. But I don't think his next fight's at cruiserweight. I think his next fight is either at 175 or it's at heavyweight.
It's not going to be at heavyweight. I do want to bring a fourth voice into the conversation, though. One of the COO, boots on the ground, one of the best guys that we get out on fight coverages, gets all the interviews, gets all the cut footage, gets all the pictures that you see here. Mike, how you doing today?
Good. Well, that's why I came in here because Matt, I did hear something about a PBC in September. So I'll just leave it at that.
So you came on here to tell me that you heard something about September, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, like just for you to say it's not possible. I mean, I
Wow.
What in the boxing source is going on here?
yeah,
I almost hit the rumor report button, Mike.
that's totally slipped my mind to tell you that. Thanks for bringing. Once you said that, I was like, oh wait, hold on, I did hear something about that.
Hey, just because they would like to go in September for Mexican
Okay,
Independence
okay.
weekend, don't mean
It's
they
like
will.
I say exactly. It's not meaning it's happening. It
Yeah,
does
just
not
because they
mean
will.
it's
I'm
happening.
listen. I'm sure PBC would like to go every fucking month, but it's not happening. You know, it got to make dollars. It got to make sense. So we'll see. We'll see though. I'm not too sure David Benavidez could get back to 175 by September. At least not in a way where he's going to be effective.
David Benavidez should create a weight division, 185, and just
You mean
welcome all comers.
you mean he should just create another division like Bridgerweight?
Yeah, just welcome all comers. David Benavidez weight, come get me.
Okay, all right. Now
Uh,
let's.
we do have another voice joining, and I'm not sure how they got where they got the link from, and I'm guessing who it is based off of the title here. We got our host of the Sunday morning sermon, the RNS podcast. Ty, how you doing?
Good morning, brothers. Good morning, my brothers.
What's
You
going
see
on,
my
Ty?
you see my stage name?
No, what is it? I can't see
I
it.
hate the Knicks.
But no, what's up with y'all this morning, man? Congratulations, Matt. You one of the good ones, and I'm be consistent. I just joined the show, but if them two guys sign with Zuffa, they're they're ducks, and I'm done. That's all I gotta say.
What do they fight each other?
Fight each other, then go back to the real boxing landscape after the fight. I listen.
Hey,
I'm a man of my word. I haven't watched 1 second of Zuffa boxing.
You're
One
missing out,
second.
Ty. You're really missing out.
forget that. Hit the rumor report button. This is hot off the rumor report bat phone. Team Bivol have already started breaking down tape of David Benavidez, and they are serious about wanting the fight after their tune-up.
Hey Matt, can I tell you something? They didn't start soon enough.
Listen, if that fight gets made, like I said, I think that's taking the crown for best potential fight that can be made. In
We got to
boxing,
clip that.
I think that's taking the crown for best potential fight that can be made.
No, it's not. It's still
What's
that fight.
better,
It's still that fight at 135 pounds between the guy
Tank
from
and
Baltimore and
Shakur?
the guy from yeah. That's still the biggest fight in boxing.
I
Listen,
need to see Tank in a ring in the next 7 months before I think that's the biggest fight in boxing.
No,
yeah,
no, no, no.
gotta be honest with you. As far as maybe biggest, you're right. But as far as all around overall grade, as far as like levelness of the ring, skill, what it means, and the how big the fight is, I think all around overall, I think that's my number one spot
I
right
just I
Nah,
disagree. I
I
disagree,
disagree.
Ezra. Because I think my bad, man. I think real quick, you get the floor, man. I think Benavidez packs him up. That's like that fight won't be competitive.
now. Oh man, well, I mean,
That
okay,
fight
that's
won't be
fine. We can
competitive.
think that, but that would still be that's not anything on Bavol. That's just a huge statement by Benavidez. So that doesn't even matter. That still doesn't change the thing because that's just a huge statement. That's like saying, okay, I think Crawford's gonna knock out Canelo. Okay, well, damn, but that before that fight happened, that would still be a huge moment. So it doesn't even knock it down for me
N-
because honestly, if Shakur and Tank fight, I think Tank's chance on there is knocking Shakur out, right? I think that would be his shot in there. I think if it goes a boxing match, Shakur's going to win a landslide points, but it would be like, can Tank land something to change his whole damn fight on a flip, or put him on his head? So
But
to me, that don't really change anything.
no, but I think whoever you pick in that fight, I think it's like I think that fight close odds wise. I just think that I don't think Benavidez. I don't think it's a competitive fight. I don't think it's competitive. I just don't.
But there's a
I
chance
feel
that
like
Shakur's not competitive.
I've seen enough of both guys where I agree with Ty. I don't think it's a competitive fight. Dmitry Bivol was fighting for his life with a 40-year-old Arthur Beterbiev. He had trouble handling pressure from a 40-year-old. Imagine trying to handle pressure from a 29-year-old who is a lot more spry and who throws a lot more punches and bunches than Artur Beterbiev, I think that's going to be a huge issue for Dmitry Bivol. And there's no time like the present to get the fight done because with the injury to Callum Smith, that pushes the WBO mandatory down the road a little bit to maybe they can get this fight in before that fight is officially mandated.
And Matt,
So,
I know he cheated, but I feel like that fight would look like, I know he cheated, but I feel like that fight would look like Margarito Cotto.
ooh.
Oh, I like that
Ooh.
I
comparison.
do like that comparison.
From your lips to God's ears.
So what are you guys? Just a question. Top 2 fights that could potentially be made in boxing right now.
You mean realistically?
I guess, yeah. Realistically, is in there. They're in the same division. Yeah, I mean, what's realistic?
To me, the top fight that could be made in boxing is Tank versus Shakur,
Okay, and number 2.
without a doubt. Number 2 is Tank versus Lamont Roach.
Oh, come on, Matt. Come on, Matt.
I think Tank versus Shakur is probably the most commercially successful fight that could be made right now. But I think I agree with you. I think David Bivol is probably the best critically available fight that could be made.
Critically available.
My people are ready for a Tank Pitbull.
I'll tell you
too.
this: the critics ain't never got nobody paid.
No, and that's what I'm saying. It's a matter of like what you're looking at. But I don't think that Tank versus Shakur is like as good of a fight as Bivol versus Benavidez.
You're bugging.
Hey, listen. Hey, Huey, I disagree with you.
I think the skill gap between Shakur and Tank is greater than it is between Benavidez and Bivol.
Hey, Huey, I know it's a fancy fight, but listen, I think the second biggest fight is involving David, but with Usyk. Going up to fight the heavyweight champion of the world.
I thought about that. I thought about saying that too, because heavyweight's always a bigger event.
That fight right there, like can a monster beat the heavyweight champion, the king of the world?
You know what? Fuck it. Let's just keep saying David's name. Matt mentioned it earlier. Canelo David's third on the list.
Let's be real. Yeah, but if David won that fight, he the baddest man on the planet. He beat the fight. He the baddest man on the planet. He beat.
Yeah, you guys are talking biggest. I'm talking best. What's the best fights that can be made? Right. That's
I mean, we just saw it last weekend. That's the difficult part about that is we just saw it last weekend.
The best fight is
Inoue Junto.
No, the best fight is Shakur versus Tank.
That's the best fight that can be made.
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Well, it was another it was another fight. It was this guy when he wanted to fight his promoter. It could have been Ortiz versus Ennis. That would have been a big fight.
There you go. Right?
That would have been a great fight.
That's an excellent one. I think the Tank Shakur is an excellent one too, but I don't think it's number 1. I would take Bivol Benavidez over that. I think that maybe that's a conversation for number 2. I think, and maybe people are gonna hate on this, but I still think Inoue Bam is. I
wanted to say it, but then I thought about it. I was like, if we're talking about it being a good fight.
I'm not sure that. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I think Bam might make that a good fight for 2 or 3 rounds, but after that. Man, I don't know.
I'm telling you right now. I think Inoue Bam is number 2, and then number 3. I'm okay with Shakur Tank, or I'm okay with Boots Virgil. But you know what though? Maybe we're sleeping on Zayas. Maybe one of the best fights a better fight's already made was Zayas Boots. You know what I mean? We're talking potential matchup, but maybe the better fight's already made was Zayas Boots.
Hey, Huey, is Inoue Bam an American fight?
No. That goes to Japan.
So Digital as you can't put it over Shakur and Tank, but Shakur and Tank will be a big fight in the States.
That's for sure.
I think Inoue Bam might do a bigger gate in the States than Tank Shakur does in Japan than Tank Shakur does in the States.
No, it won't.
I agree, Mike.
We're losing you a little bit. You're computer loving.
I still think Ryan Haney is a good fight to make.
We got a comment from Trill in the listener section. He says Rafa versus Junto and Rafa versus Inoue.
Rafa versus Junto.
Bro.
Matt, you're still saying.
I like the fight.
Oh, well, okay. Alan Day has a good comment here. Opataya Benavidez, is that in the conversation?
No,
Oh,
no. It's a good fight. It's a good matchup, but it doesn't overall for judging all the things. No.
Okay.
what does Opataya have? He has no belt. Like what? David said he not going to Zuffa.
But let's also do this though, right? Because we're not gonna start doing this by the belts.
Here
I
we
don't.
are.
No,
Here
no,
we
no,
are.
no, no.
Because
I'm not gonna
if
start
they
doing this by the belts.
hold on. If David Benavidez's mission is to become undisputed, how do you reconcile that with
So,
fighting Ja Opataya next?
Benavidez wouldn't fight Canelo if there was no belt on the line.
It would be a belt on the line.
No, but I'm saying if there was no belt and Canelo
No,
doesn't do it,
because Canelo brings something to
Well,
the table. Abadai
that's
doesn't.
fine.
Ezra, come
Okay,
on,
that's fine. That's what I'm talking
understand.
Ezra, to
about.
be fair, he
Dude,
didn't want to fight David when there was a belt on the
Yeah,
that's
but
just
line.
a
I'm saying
dumb
there's no.
example to use, though.
No. It's not because you're talking about market. I'm not talking about marketing. Matt's saying it's not worth anything because there's no belt on the line. That's not the truth. That's not the
Yeah,
truth.
because what is Ja Opataya bringing?
A good fight, a fight that we would all want to see. I mean, what does that mean?
Whoa. See, now when you say a fight we all want to see, then you're talking about marketing.
Not
What does that
marketing.
fight do?
As
Nothing.
far as like diehard boxing fans, and like you were like, oh, I want to see him against
Come
this
on,
guy's
man.
knockout
Do you
No,
power
care about
and
bro.
the
speed
lineal
and
title, Matt?
explosiveness at the cruiserweight. I mean, yeah, I
Hey,
want to see it.
that fight would have to be at the theater at Madison Square
That's
Garden.
Matt, do you care about the lineal title that Jai brings?
I don't acknowledge him as the lineal champion.
Okay.
you're making a lot of rules over there.
I don't acknowledge him as the lineal champion.
That's a
Making a lot of
conversation
rules.
for another day. Do you have anything else for the rumor report, Matt?
That wasn't enough.
I just wanted to know
Damn,
if we
this
were
is a
changing.
tough audience here. Tough
Hey
crowd.
man, sometimes you have a lot of rumors, sometimes you got one.
Okay, so
Uh,
Matt, if that's next, does that go September? Does that take the September date?
would Bivol fight
But it-
in basically 3 months' time? I don't know if he does that. I would love to say yes. I don't know if he does that.
No, because Turkey doesn't let him compete with his event with Canelo.
Well, he's not dealing with Turkey. His next fight's not with Turkey.
Hmm. It's a good question. I guess we'll have to see.
All right, what's next?
What's next is your favorite part of the show, where you get to take over the show and show everyone in boxing just how smart you are. We have the Ezra report card and the Ezra breakdown. We're going to start it off with the meat packing district of boxing. Fabio Wardley defends his WBO heavyweight championship against Dynamite Daniel Dubois in front of a sold out crowd. A sold out crowd in the UK. What are your thoughts, Ezra?
This isn't a good heavyweight matchup. This isn't a great heavyweight matchup. This isn't a fantastic heavyweight matchup. This is the heavyweight matchup, and me and Matt are in agreement on that. The winner of this fight, to me, if you're just talking about work done, and you're not fighting a kickboxer next, is the heavyweight guy, is the number one heavyweight guy, right? I get Usyk as champion. I get Usyk beat the ball. I get all that, but we got to see him come back and fight guys, and show that he's not in the senior tour of boxing. Show that he's not in the exhibition tour. I think it's the exhibition point of his career. The winner of this, and let's just talk about look at Dubois, a guy that was counted out after the Joyce performance, a guy that was the people said, he's gonna be what is it called? A bust. He's going to be a bust in boxing. And he brought his way back, right? He brought his way back, and he knocks out Joshua. He gets some work done, beats Big Baby. He gets work done, right? And his only two losses after Joyce are to Usyk, right? The best guy in the world, the best guy heavyweight. Now let's talk about Wardley. Wardley is what Jake Paul wants to be. Wardley is a guy that's late to the game. Wardley is a guy that was just doing fun little charity events and said, hey, you know what? I'm pretty good at this, and became the heavyweight champion of the world. This guy is natural ability. That's what you're seeing from him. You're seeing a guy that's going against training and doing all this at a young age and building the thing. He just said, hey, you know what? I'm just a natural ability at fighting. I hit insanely hard, and he made it all the way to the top of the heavyweight division. This is a story that what people say, oh, that's impossible to do. This guy did it. Now, a matchup between them is labeled correctly and don't blink because someone lands on this fight. It's gonna those shots mean so much, right? They mean so much. This fight could be over in the first round. It could be over with the first punch that lands. It's the edge of your seat type fight. Now, what I'm going with is the guy to me that has more ability to be creative. The guy that to me has more ability to do more things in the ring. I'm going with the guy that isn't um the 10 has been a little bit more proven, hasn't been cracked yet. And I'm going with Wardley. I think Wardley is a guy that could do more in the ring. He has more ability. He has more natural talent. And I like Dubois. He's big, strong, but he becomes predictable. He's always had problems with guys with the more speed than him. He's had problems with a guy like Lorena who had him, without the if there was a more ref that was like willing to stop a fight just because a guy is clearly hurt really bad, he doesn't make it past that fight, right? I've seen his chin get cracked. I've seen him be hittable. I understand Wardley's more hittable, but he's extremely durable. Wardley's power lasts, and Wardley's a gamer. One thing about Wardley is he never thinks he's out of a fight. And I've seen him in situations where he's down big on the cards and he pulls it out. He's done this on multiple occasions. And in the Joseph Parker fight, I mean, you cannot question anymore how good this guy is. It's not a question anymore. He's at that level. I think Wardley's going to pull this fight out. I think he's going to make his claim that I'm the best heavyweight today, and I want to see Usyk in the ring. Remember, we're talking about people that duck. Usyk ducked Wardley. That 100% did happen. Usyk ducked Wardley, and Wardley to me is going to pull off a big victory today. And we got to start having a conversation. Is Usyk willing to step in the ring with this man? I give this card also too. The undercard didn't wow me, right? It didn't wow me. You will see Morale on there. That's an interesting matchup, but the card didn't wow me. But this is an A plus matchup. The whole card is an A plus because this is the heavyweight fight.
I agree. And I think if Fabio Wardley wins today, he is the number one heavyweight in the world, and that includes Alexander Usyk. I think Fabio Wardley is at the peak of his powers. Is he catching Dynamite Daniel Dubois at the right time? That's the question. Can Daniel Dubois come back from not just that loss that he had against Usyk, but all the things that happened surrounding it? The party before the fight, the issues with the trainer. Can he get past all of that? I say yes. I am going with Dynamite Daniel Dubois by knockout. I will also grade this card because this is a one-fight card.
2-1 fight.
A plus because one thing about me, I love the meat, and we have the meatiest of battles today with Daniel Dubois and Fabio Wardley.
Man, it's gonna be good. This is gonna be good, and I feel I know in the UK they're excited, but I feel like here in the States we're not excited enough about what we're gonna see. This is gonna be good stuff. You guys are excited about Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi? This is that kind of matchup. This is that kind of matchup. I want to see what happens when someone lands. What's gonna happen here? I'm not sure if they're still on, but I think joining the show right now is historian. The man that runs the corner stool. Cliff, are you still here with us, Cliff?
I am here.
What do you think of the matchup today?
I love this fight. I mean, look, I disagree slightly with the idea that the winner of this fight is the best heavyweight in the world. If Dubois wins this fight, we already know Dubois is not the best heavyweight in the world. It actually amplifies the case for Caballel as the most deserving contender in the sport. Right now, it's not clear it's not truly clear who's more deserving of a shot at Usyk, whether it's Caballel or Wardley. If Wardley wins today, I think he pulls ahead in that regard and makes it more definitive. But this will get us a step closer to knowing who is the fight that we really need to see next for Usyk when he's done jerking off with some kickboxer next in a couple weeks. I mean, it is. I mean, look. I mean, if you pay for that in a couple weeks, you're essentially paying to watch Alexander Usyk jerk off at 39, and there's nothing wrong with that. Feel free if that's what you want to do, or you can save your money and wait for him to fight a real fight again.
Is there an age acceptable to pay
But
for that?
what's that?
No. Go ahead. Sorry.
But as far as the fight itself, I'm actually with you, as I think Wardley showed me in the Parker fight, because we didn't really know. We knew he was tough. He was coming along, but he'd been fighting Hooney and Fraser Clark and other sort of prospect heavyweights. Against Parker, he was fighting a legitimate contender, one of the better heavyweights of this generation, and one who was on a hot streak. Like, you look at where Parker was coming into that fight, he was on the best run he'd been on in his entire career in terms of quality wins. And he outlasted him when he was asked not just physical questions, but questions of his mental strength, of his character as a professional fighter. Fabio Wardley answered those questions. And when Daniel Dubois has been asked those questions about himself beyond the physical, when he's been asked questions about his character, about what he's willing to go through to win, he has a break point. He folds. And we haven't seen Wardley fold. And I think that's going to make all the difference in a fight between punchers. Also, something that jumped out to me, and I wrote about this in a preview that is now live on the Corner Stool. Dubois came into this fight the heaviest of his career. He's almost 10 pounds heavier than he was for the second Usyk fight. He has not fought since he got absolutely shelled in 5 rounds last year. I'm not sure what we're getting from Daniel Dubois, and I think Wardley can exploit that. I like Wardley by knockout in this fight.
Now, I agree with you with the Caballero. Now, when I say that this guy might be the best heavyweight, I guess I would say work done. So maybe, like, rankings don't necessarily work by, like, this is the best guy. This guy will probably beat everyone. But as far as work done, I do think the winner of this, while Usyk is, like you said, and the beautiful way you phrased it, is doing his nonsense. I think that this would be the guy that's got the most work done at heavyweight, not named Usyk.
One thing I want to point
and
out,
I think a lot would,
because a lot of you guys don't understand heavyweight the way I understand heavyweight. The heavier Dubois has been, the better he has performed. I just want to point that out.
What is he waiting for this one?
He's
251. First time he's ever come in over 250.
Oh, wow.
For the Joshua fight, he was 248. For Hrgovic, he was 245. I think we're going to see War Dubois today. Listen, Fabio Wardley is a baby, and every baby needs a daddy. Daddy's home today.
Is Wardley a superstar if he wins today?
No. Maybe in the UK.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, you can only be a superstar where you're at.
Oh, yeah. Listen, yeah, he's already a star. He's done back-to-back excellent sold-out events against Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois. So he's already a star.
Bro, and this guy's getting to work. You know what I mean? He's not looking for an easy way out. He's not. He's looking to get to work. Like, this is crazy. Like, even like the Hooney fight, which I know, Matt, you're not high on whatever, but Hooney's a good fighter. Like, he's not a bad fighter. He's got some skills, and he wins that fight. Like, this dude is getting work done. It's just, we got to be honest. Usyk ducked him. Like, he did. He ducked him. Because we all thought he would take that fight. We all thought, honestly, that Usyk was a little bit like relieved that it wasn't Joseph Parker. We all kind of thought, like, oh, of course he's gonna take the Wardley fight. You know what I mean? And he ducks him blatantly. Like, that's insane. I
didn't think he was gonna take the Wardley fight.
You didn't think so?
Nah.
Bro, I think you said after the post fight that, yeah, Usyk's gonna take this fight. I wanted to say word for word, that's what you said, but
I want to say I didn't.
All right. I don't think he's going to take the Wardley fight if Wardley beats Dubois today. I still think that when he's done with Verhoeven, Usyk is probably going to fight Deontay Wilder. It would not surprise me one bit.
Let's go. Fuck this Wardley fight.
Now, why do you guys think? Now, I get I get why Wilder, right? I get why I think the fight. But what is it you think about Wardley that he doesn't want to get in the ring with?
I don't think it's anything about Wardley. I think he's getting free money to go fight in a couple weeks. I mean, that's just free money. He typically doesn't fight more than once a year either. So if he fights a second time this year, that'll be his real fight for the year, right? Like, this is just kicking rocks. But I think that the Wilder fight is the other name of his generation. It's an opportunity to access the U.S. pay-per-view market, which is not otherwise readily available at heavyweight all the time. And I think he thinks those other fights will still be there later.
Okay. I like I said, if Wardley wins this, I wouldn't. I think that he's willing to step in with anyone. I wouldn't be surprised if they put him in with Cabello. I'll be honest with you. He
Bring
just seems like that
bring
kind of
that
guy.
on.
Yeah, I think he's just that kind of
Bring
guy.
that on.
And I know Cabello's not going to duck that, right? I know he'll want that. He wants to prove who he is. Like, goodness gracious, yeah. I think Wardley. I think like
If I'm right,
go ahead.
if I'm right, as in Usyk fights Wilder, by the time you get to Cabello and Wardley, that could actually be a unification fight because they'll probably strip another belt
Yeah.
off of Usyk, so you can add more bells and whistles.
Yep. I think that'd be fantastic. And yeah, I don't know. I just think we're with what's best for boxing. I think is definitely Wardley. Would you agree with that, Matt?
No, Daniel Dubois.
Oh, really? All right.
Dynamite Daniel Dubois, man. The most violent man in all of boxing.
I don't think you can have that claim, but all right, all right.
All right. Another fight happening tonight. It was supposed to be Angelo Leo defending his IBF featherweight championship against Rais the Beast Alim. Alim missed weight by almost 3 pounds. He refused to weigh in for a second time. Atif Overton steps into the main event against Carlos Gongora. Ezra, thoughts on what happened and thoughts on this card?
When was Alim's last fight? Do you guys know that offhand?
Oh
Anyone?
God, don't, bro. Thoughts on the fucking fight, bro.
Well, the reason why I asked that is
You
because
should have looked that up if you thought you were gonna be thinking about it. Look it up. The fuck, you want to pause the show to
you
know
know,
when Rais Salim fought?
I don't
Rais
know.
Salim.
It's a simple question. A simple Google search could get that. But
All right, it
why I
was
say that?
November. November, I guess. Makito Nakano.
November, right? Okay. That's the reason why I say it is because Frank Martin asked him, guys miss weight, right? Like, and what leads to that? And he says it's because if you have a good distance between fights or something like that, you might not know that your body changed, or you might not know your body's struggling with something because
So
there's
why
such a
didn't you
gap.
just leave with that? Say, I was talking to Frank Martin about guys that miss it. Like, why didn't you just start with that instead of asking
Because he
oh
didn't know if
man.
it applied to him
Yeah,
because
you
of the
need to know
time
if I
off, the
can just say
layoff.
that, and
So
then you guys
Yeah, but
tell
it
me,
still would have been a good
yeah,
story.
if I say that, and then you guys tell me he fought a month ago, you're gonna be like,
It
why the hell did
still
you
would
say
have been
that?
a good story.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Mike. You understood. But
So
and he says,
yeah.
and you're not sure where your body's at. And this is the thing that I don't think people talk about enough. Like when you're fighting consistently, it's just knowing where your body's at, what speed it's at, like how it's reacting and all that, and you're just in tune with it. But when you have distance in it, you do a camp, and camp could lie to you, right? Like because might be hitting the pads and not see it, fighting lesser sparring partners, not really being pushed, and then you get in a fight and you're like, oh, whoa, I'm not the timing I once had. My speed's not the same. But another thing is, what I never thought of is weight cutting, right? This came off a year ago, but now I'm a different person, different body, and that could be a big reason there. But I just found right now, Aleem is a guy that cannot afford to miss opportunities like this. He's just not. He's not that guy, and you gotta be able to execute when you get the opportunity. When you're a guy like Aleem that doesn't have a big name, doesn't have a huge following, and you get this opportunity. This was a very good fight. This was a very good fight. This is actually a big disappointment to the schedule. It just doesn't have a lot of buzz to it, but this is a big disappointment to the schedule that we lost this fight. And the fact that Leo would have kept his belt even if he would have went through with the fight, even if he had lost. But I think that Leo and them see the opportunity that's coming at 126. I don't think they want to take any risk with any of that. So they said no. They didn't go through with the fight, and that's a big disappointment. Gongora versus Overton. Gongora is way past it. He's like way past it. He was a decent fighter at one time. He was a tough fighter at one time, but this should be, this is for one guy to prove that he's, working his way up. It has a highlight performance type opportunity.
Yeah, I think this is a star-making night for him. He's in the main event. He'll be the focal point in Atlanta. He got to make it happen. He got to knock this guy out and knock him out in style. Also, heavyweight hopeful Price Taylor is going to be in the co-feature. He did make the mistake of coming on Brunch Boxing last month, so The last couple times he's been on Brunch Boxing, he has not performed well.
Why
We
were we
will
to blame for
see.
that? What's going
Yeah,
on
we
here?
will see if there's a well. He didn't come on Brunch Boxing last time.
What's
He got a knockout in the fifth round and did the Ray Lewis dance.
well,
So,
it's like they always say though about him. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
hey, did you read the article I wrote on him?
I did not.
Oh man, the name of the article: Yesterday's price, Taylor, is not today's price. It's a shame you didn't read it.
That is
That was a
brilliant.
nod to you.
That wasn't not to me.
That was
That
a
is
nod to you. You
brilliant.
didn't even fucking read it. It's
I
great.
appreciate that, sir. That is good
Great.
stuff.
But we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's get into tomorrow. Zuffa Boxing returns with their sixth event, headlined by the Gulag match between Shane Mosley Jr. and Serhii Bohachuk. Also on the card, you have Misael Rodriguez going up against Andreas Katsarakis. What are your thoughts on this card here?
The main event, like I don't exactly love. It is a Gulag fight, but I think that I don't know. I just thought Jay Mosley Jr. at a certain level has kind of showed who he was. But he's an easy guy to root for. He's got a great personality. He's very good in interviews. Even when I interviewed him, I thought he was very very good answers and everything like that. Bo Chuck is a guy that at one point seemed like a top guy in the weight class. Now kind of seems like I believe that a lot less. Maybe this fight turns entertaining. The Shane Mosley versus Jesus Ramos was much more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. So maybe this is more entertaining than I'm thinking it's going to be. But I'm going to pick Bochuk in that fight. The undercard, the co-main event, I believe, right? What's the guy's name so I don't butcher it?
Misael.
That's not the one. That's not the one I'm talking about. His opponent.
Oh, Andreas Katsarakis.
You thought that I was asking about Misael on the one that I was gonna mess
Yeah,
up and
yeah.
not pronounce
How were
right?
hold up? But how are you asking about Katsarakis? You've heard that name a bunch.
It don't matter. Katsarakis, I'm not putting those letters together a lot. Now, okay, Katsarakis versus Misael. I really like Misael. I when I seen him in the first fight that I seen him on Zuffa, I think he's a very good fighter. I think he's a very smart fighter and a good pressure fighter. Katsarakis is a guy that I've seen him on. He was on the what the hell was that thing called the
Red Owl.
not Red Owl, the other one.
It was Red Owl.
Wasn't he in the tournament? Am I tripping? He was on that tournament for
Yeah,
the
in Red Owl.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, whatever that was. So I seen him in that. He's a guy that's gonna throw a lot of punches, get work together. I think this has the making to be a very, very, very entertaining fight, and I'm gonna lean Misael in it. But I think this is gonna be a damn good fight. I actually, if you go down the undercard, there's some really entertaining fights on here that I think are really gonna deliver. That's the one thing about Zuffa. It's the
Yeah,
undercard.
especially the actual co-feature, Julian Hammerhands Rodriguez against
Yes,
James Pereira.
and Pereira, I'm gonna take the upset in that fight. Now, Pereira's a
Wow.
tall, lanky fighter that puts the punches together. Junior Rodriguez is a good fighter, but he is, I think, he's kind of just like, he doesn't have the attributes to me to be to the next level. And I think he's going to run into some lanes here. And a guy that's guy coming up but doesn't have, that fight to really separate himself, or doesn't have like maybe enough tape on him to really show you how good he could be. I'm gonna take the upset in this fight.
Wow. What would you grade this card? Because I got this card as an A.
I think this is the main event kind of brings down a little bit for me. I think it's a B plus.
Oh, I love the main event. And my guy Justin Valoria is on this card
Yes, and
too.
Justin Floor is to me a must watch Zuffa guy. He's very very entertaining and a good fighter.
Yeah, very good card. I'm gonna give this card an A.
And it's I love a Sunday card. I gotta tell you, I love a Sunday card. I think a Sunday card is better than a Friday card. It's of course not better than a Saturday night card, but a Sunday card. There's just something about it, man. Let me tell you something. There's just something special about the sun going down, just getting a nice relaxing day, just finishing up with some boxing. It's really fantastic.
All right, let's make the people some money.
All right, I am gonna go, and I don't have this prepared. I'm gonna go with Wardley by stoppage. I'm gonna go with Boachuk by decision. And I am gonna go with Gongora getting stopped by what's his name?
Atif Oberton,
O'Teeth
Lord
Overton.
Pretty Calvo.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that. That's my 3-leg parlay.
I like your 3-leg parlay, but I will see your 3-leg
All
parlay
right.
and raise you my own 3-leg parlay, which has more than 3 legs for some reason. I don't know why
All
I call it a
right.
3-leg
All
parlay.
right. All right.
All right.
All right.
I'm going Bakadir Jalilov by knockout over Agron Smakichi. I'm taking David Morrell to get the stoppage today. And I am taking Dynamite Daniel Dubois
Wow. Wow. Wow.
versus Fabio Wardley. Dubois by KO, TKO
Now,
at plus
can we get your
160.
confidence level on that?
Cinco.
And I'm
That
confident for
is, dude.
for Wardley is 5 as well.
Oh my
And of
goodness.
course, I'm taking Atif Overton by knockout.
How was this race going?
Well, Huey, I know we have the score ready for today's show. You're on mute, Huey. Huey, you're on mute.
My bad. I got like 2 more weeks that I need to catch up on. I'm not even kidding. No, because it's like last week I didn't do shit. I don't even have last week's picks in the note in the spreadsheet yet. Like that's still in my notes.
You know what this feels like? You know, because I don't really know what the score is. I really don't. Now that I think about it,
I'm really
thinking,
just waiting until Matt takes the lead again.
yeah, that's really like what feels like what it is. But here's the thing, though, right? This shows you why when the fight ends and the boxer raises his hand, and you say, "Why the hell did he raise his hand?" That's what this is getting to. I'm not really sure who's in the lead here. I feel like I could be in the lead, but I could be getting my ass kicked. Who really knows? And we could look at this, and I could be down 20 points. But because we don't have open scoring for some reason, and I think we should have open scoring in, it really could go any way. It could be any result. It's hilarious.
We're close. Ezra, did you pick by knockout or decision?
Oh, Wardley?
Yeah.
Knockout.
All right. Are we picking any other fights over the weekend for the picks decision? For the picks contest?
No.
Okay.
You want to pick the Zuffa card, Matt?
You can if you want. I don't really care to be honest with you.
Okay. Then
all right. We'll just do this one as the one for the weekend then.
Respectfully, I like the card, but respectfully.
Matt, and since we interrupted you, can you please repeat your bet for the people?
Bakaldir Jalilov, KO. David Morrell, KO. Daniel Dubois, KO. Atif Overton, KO. 4 legs plus 682.
Wow.
I'm with Ezra. I'm going with Wardley, and I'm taking Morale with the KO. Just a quick
Hey,
two
I
right
just
there.
want to point out Ezra has not hit a bet all year.
I have
It's
only
okay.
one. I've only hit one.
Was it a straight bet? You haven't hit a parlay?
No, I think it was a parlay, but it had nothing to do with boxing, I believe. This is an unbelievable run of bad
Was
bets.
this when you put like the Lakers and the Dodgers together? or
Yeah,
some
it was.
shit?
This is an unbelievable run of bad bets that I'm giving.
Oh my goodness!
All right, Matt, what else you got?
Real quick, is anyone looking at it? What's Wardley just by stoppage?
Give me a second. I have FanDuel up right now.
It's like plus 130. I thought.
Fabio Wardley, where is this fight? By stoppage, you said?
Yeah.
Fabio Wardley plus 120.
Plus 120? That would be like my like let's make some money type
That's
thing.
your best bet?
That's my best bet. But I want to say this though, while saying that, my best bet last week was Inoue by stoppage and David Benavidez by decision. So take that with a grain of salt as well, because that went complete the opposite way. I didn't get one leg on that bad boy. So just
Ezra, I made that bet actually.
Yeah, just that went complete the opposite way on that. So, but I would say Wardley by stoppage.
I will point out, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that I took Inoue by decision and Benavidez by stoppage last week.
We'll check the tape on that.
Excellent.
Yeah, check the tape. Check the tape. I'm pretty sure I picked Benavidez by stoppage, definitely. I believe I did pick Inoue by decision. Maybe because I was piggybacking off my guy Jake Donovan. Shout out to Jake.
Oh wait, no, I did pick David by knockout. I picked anyway by knockout though. That's what messed it up for me.
Mm.
Yeah, I picked David by stoppage. It was like, there's no way this guy's gonna hold
Yeah,
up to David.
I picked David by knockout and anyway 7 through 12.
Speaking of David Benavidez, it's time to book the territory.
All
Because,
right.
God damn it, David Benavidez is the star of stars in boxing right now. He showed out for boxing last week. So we're going to book the territory with Ezra's favorite bit type fight. So I want to know from Ezra, what type fight are these potential matchups
Okay.
that could happen in 2026 are?
Okay.
All right. And I think that these are, without a doubt, the best fights that are either made or can be made in boxing. Here we go. First fight. What type of fight is David Benavidez versus Alexander Usyk?
That is a 70-30 Usyk fight.
Is that an A plus matchup?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I think it's 50-50, but
I,
okay.
I was thinking 60-40, so we're all kind of in that range.
Yeah, I think it's 50-50. I might even lean towards Benavidez.
Yeah, I'm thinking 60-40 Benavidez.
Yeah.
This guy's fighting kickboxers. Just tells
So
him where he's at mentally.
the
But
the
Usyk, see, the thing with that is like I understand that he's what 38, 39 years old, but Usyk hasn't necessarily looked bad.
yeah, you
He
also have to
will if
think,
he fights David.
you also have to think of this is when Usyk stepped into heavyweight, it took maybe like 2 fights to get adjusted to heavyweight.
He struggled with Tony Bellew in what
Yeah,
first
so
second fight.
he struggled with Chisora.
Yeah.
Struggled with
Yeah,
Chisora.
Bellew was a cruiserweight.
Yeah, he struggled with Chisora.
Oh
and,
shit,
and
that's right.
and and I think that if you're telling all these matchups are like the next matchup, then that's what it would be. If David got into heavyweight, which I want him to do, and slowly works well, it'll tighten up a lot.
So here's the thing, though, right? David didn't struggle in his debut at cruiserweight.
No, he did not. No, he did not.
Okay.
But
And
that's
that
more of
would
his
make me start
natural weight,
that,
I feel like.
and that made me
No.
start believing in heavyweight a
Hey,
lot.
weighing at 196, cruiserweight is definitely not his natural weight.
No,
I'll
no,
tell you
no.
this
But I
right
feel like
now.
he didn't have to do a whole lot to get to 196.
I'll tell you this right now. I was already pushing David at heavyweight. I was already pushing him to fight Joshua and all those things. But when I saw that Zerto fight, I started to believe that he could beat Usyk. I started to believe like this can really be this legitimate could be the best. He could be the heavyweight champ, the main guy.
I mean, especially if he gets all muscle put on from here on out, Ezra. I mean,
Bro,
I
that
just
that was like a Pacquiao like performance with that offense. It was like Pacquiao like it was. It really looked like when De La Hoya was getting chopped up by Pacquiao. It did look like that.
All right. Next fight. We're going to stay with David Benavidez. David Benavidez versus Dimitri Bivol. What type fight is this fight?
That's a 55-45 Benavidez.
60-40, David.
Huh. I think it's a.
Ezra, I'm waiting for Ezra to
I
answer.
thought I
I
thought
said
70 30.
55-45.
My
Oh,
initial thought was
55-45?
70-30, but I think
Benavidez.
60-40.
This is like 90-10, 80-20.
Oh, you guys are crazy. You guys are everybody.
He's gonna destroy Bivol. Like I seen the way David talks about how he sparred him. Like I seen the confidence in David. Like it's no big deal. It's he knows he's no big deal to him.
That's true. I've heard that as well.
Yeah, I think this is like a 80-20 fight in favor of David.
All right.
I
I
think he's going to
wanted to
beat the
say
hell out of
70-30, but I'm gonna give Bivol the benefit of the doubt that he still might be able to do some things in the ring that might throw David off a little bit, especially early, and cause him some trouble.
And one thing I want to say, going back to the Usyk fight, putting a bow on that, I think a lot of times the mistake that we make as prognosticators and pundits of boxing is that we say, hey, well, he hasn't taken a lot of punishment. Yeah, maybe not in his fights, but every fight is a tough training camp. So we don't know what kind of punishment he took in those camps. We don't know what kind of punishment he took in those sparrings in anticipation for these heavyweight fights against these behemoths. So
Mhm.
so he has a lot of wear and tear that we might not be thinking about. All right, the third fight, David Benavidez versus Artur Beterbiev. What type fight is that, Ezra?
I think that's a 70-30 Benavidez.
That's a violent
Wow.
fight. That's a violent fight. That's what type of fight it is.
I think it's 50-50.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
he would
that's a
just be
50-50 fight.
too fast, it'd be too much. I think that those shots would just really add up, especially with Benjamin's age. I think that would honestly probably turn into a beating pretty quick.
I get what
It's
Matt's saying.
7:30.
I think it starts out as a 50 fight, but once you get a few rounds in, it turns into that 70-30, 80-20 that Ezra's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Baturbiev knocks his head off his shoulders.
That's why it starts out as
Right off the bat.
50-50 fight. Shit, it might even start out as a 60-40, as like a 55-45 fight towards better beef.
The next fight, Dmitry Bivol versus Artur Beterbiev, Ezra. What
Right
type
now,
fight is that?
right now that's a
I
70-30.
mean, obviously, I mean,
70-30 Bivol right now.
okay. All right. I think that's about 60-40 Beterbiev.
Really? You favor Beterbiev?
I think Bivol realizes he is about as good as his teeth, and that's why he's been avoiding the trilogy.
Just
Okay,
the
that's
age.
fair.
The age is playing a
I
big
would
factor
favor
to me.
I would favor slightly Bivol. It's somewhere in that just over 50, not quite 65s in that range, but I could see you favoring better beef if that's the mindset you're taking.
Yeah, I got that 50-50.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 fight. Next fight up, Canelo Alvarez versus Christian and Billy. What type fight is that, Ezra?
I think that's a 60-40 and Bealey fight.
Get the fuck out of here. Hey,
So,
you gotta
70
stop letting your Canelo hate clog your punditry.
that's a 68-32 Canelo fight. It's not quite 70.
I
I
think
got
this is 90-10 Canelo.
I got this 70-30 Billy.
Wow.
Wow, Mike.
Mike has officially turned on Canelo. He goes to a couple Benavidez events, and now Canelo ain't shit. Now Canelo ain't shit.
I
All
just don't
right.
think he got it anymore, man.
Next fight up, Errol Spence Jr. versus Tim Tszyu. What type of fight is this, Ezra?
I think
Curious to
that's
see what Ezra says here.
60-40 Spence.
I agree.
75-25 Spence.
I think PBC got so lucky that Tim Tszyu was able to rebuild himself for this fight. Because Spence is going to beat the fuck out of this guy.
Yeah.
We shall see.
All right.
And
Next
you know
fight
what?
up.
Just before we move too far away from this, Cassius is right. Mbili is perfect. Canelo doesn't see what you and Mike see as.
I think I got a picture with Shia LaBeouf.
Well, you know, Cassius is one of the best managers in all of boxing.
Does he manage Shia LaBeouf?
He manages guys like Prince Patel. He manages my guy, Hitman Houston. He's a mover and shaker in the boxing industry.
Hey,
You
well, I
might want
got
to get with him.
Blunts and Boxing agreeing with us, so I got that going for us, man.
Yeah.
I hope that's the boxing side.
Next fight
He
up,
does.
Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson. What type fight is that, Ezra?
I think that's a 50-50.
What weight is it happening at?
147.
It's a 50-50 fight.
Oh, man. I think this is 60-40 in favor of Haney.
Oh, you would actually favor Haney.
You know, the thing that I like about that fight for Haney is, well, first of all, I don't think he has to worry about the power coming back, which would be like something that he would maybe have trouble with. But the thing is that he can be fully his offensive self. And if he can use his full offensive weapons coming forward, like Haney is, man, he's special with stuff like that. But I can see this fight looking like Zab versus Floyd, where Haney gets off strong, starts off strong, lands some decent shots, and then as the fight goes on, Shakur makes the adjustments and controls the whole second half of the fight.
Yeah, I
What do
would
you
favor
think?
I would favor Shakur in that fight slightly. I might go the other like 60-40 if I'm gonna pick one of them, but I think that's a 50-50 fight.
What do you think about the fight, Mike?
I think I'm leaning toward Ezra. I just think Shakur, he's going to get more muscle even at 147, and Haney would start off well, I think, but I think Shakur eventually would figure him out, and uh, I basically think he can outbox him.
All right, the next fight: Ryan Garcia versus Rolando Rolly Romero. The rematch. What type fight is this, Ezra?
Don't back out now, Ezra. Come on, don't back out now.
I think it's a 60-40 Ryan fight.
Ah, shut the fuck up. This is 70-30 Rolly.
All right.
It's
Easy
in that
work.
it's in that range. It's somewhere between 60 and 70 in favor of Rolly.
I got this as a 50-50. 50-50 fight.
Wow. Okay.
Mike's just doing promotional work for PBC. He believes Rolly's going to win this fight.
Next fight up: Gary Antoine
Love this
Russell
fight.
versus Isak Pitbull Cruz.
I think that is a 75-25 Russell fight.
Oh
I
my
love
goodness, dude,
I
this guy.
love the matchup. It's pure violence. But I do think that Russell could box if he needed to in that fight. And I think if they exchange, he still has a really good shot of winning that, even in exchanges. That's how violent the fight is. So I do think he has more ways to win the fight. But I do love that matchup.
Let me say for something. This is a 50-50 fight.
Really?
No,
Yes, 50-50
This is a
fight.
50-50
no.
fight.
It's
This is a 50-50 fight.
70 and 80 in favor
Are
of
you going to
Gary.
keep up with that onslaught from Pitbull?
This is
You
This
definitely
know,
a
is a
50-50 fight.
50-50.
you know who has a hell of a chin? Roach. He's got a hell of a chin.
You
He's
just realized
eating
that?
clean shots from Tank and Pitbull Cruz. Like, because he got hit clean by Pitbull. And he just ate him. Like, no effect on him at all.
All right.
Hell of a chin.
Next
And then
fight.
you had to finish this off with 2 for you and 1 for Ezra, huh?
Next fight. Javante Tank Davis versus Isak Pitbull Cruz, the rematch. What
I
type fight is that?
I think that's a 70-30 Pitbull. I'm sorry, 70-30 Tank fight.
Whoa. Whoa.
If Tank is even still like somewhat of himself, that's an 80-20 Tank fight.
This is 50-50.
What are we doing
This
here?
is
Tank, what are we doing?
I
Tank
do
50.
9-3 with Tank 9-3
Remember,
with
one
a
guy was
broken
about
hand.
to
What are
fight
we doing?
celebrities. One guy was about
Yeah,
to fight
no.
celebrities.
The one thing I do
Like,
say, and I said this when the fight was rumored to, well, first rumored to have the rematch, right? Like recently. I do think this fight's gotten a lot tighter than it was the first time. I agree with you, Huey. I didn't think the fight was as close as people made the first one, right? But I do think that Pitbull Cruz will have a lot more opportunities in this matchup, and I think that Tank's coming off a lot of nonsense
He's
into
gonna have
this fight.
he's gonna have a lot more opportunities when Tank can throw his left hand.
I think that Tank is more hittable. I don't think the Tank's the same. I think there's a little bit of fall off
That's
here.
fair.
Yeah, I
That's
think there's
fair.
one
He
more
slowed
fall
down.
off
His
here.
reflexes aren't the same.
Yeah, and Pitbull's been kind of active. I thought Pitbull looked pretty damn good in the Roach fight. I thought that he was doing pretty good things in that fight. So I think that the fight is tightened up a little bit for me. I think it's a really interesting matchup.
Respectfully, this is a 100-0 fight in favor of Tank.
I knew it.
I didn't
This
want to
guy
do that
has
type of thing. So I said
no
80-20.
shot. No shot to beat Tank Davis.
No, none.
None. His odds were slim and none, and Slim left the building.
And unless Tank is legitimately a retired fighter, if Tank comes into that fight like Sonny Edwards came into his last fight, then yeah, sure, Pitbull can win.
I don't know
All
where
I
Tank's
know is
at mentally.
Tank beat him with one hand.
But that's what I'm saying, Matt.
Now I agree with you guys on that fight, but it's not the same time. You know what I mean?
All right, we'll see. Next fight, Javante Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach, the rematch.
I'm in the same spot, 70-30 Tank.
You know what's funny about that? I'm in the same spot too. 100-0 for Tank. To me, this year, Tank will be back with a vengeance.
Uh, can I tell you
I,
something that's kind
No,
of the
no, because you're
reveal?
gonna be negative, and I don't like
hold on.
that.
I
Let me
want to
tell you
tell you,
something. Kind of
I want to give my type of fight for this real
go go
quick.
go.
It is 100% going to be a draw.
The one thing with the Tank, if you can eat the power, you will be in the fight. If you can eat the power, you will be in the fight. He doesn't punch enough to make the rounds clear enough for him. So if you eat the power, you will be competitive, and that's why Roach was competitive with him, and that's why in situations Pitbull was competitive with them. If you look at a lot of fights, he loses. A lot of the fights are kind of close until he ends them, is because he doesn't punch enough. So the guys are staying close early, and then he catches them because he has great timing. He knows how to read guys' mistakes and their patterns. But if you can eat the power like Roach did, then you'll be in the fight. You'll have a chance.
Can I ask you a question about that? As though
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned, he did it against Tank, he did it against Pitbull. Whatever his next fight is, if he fights someone in between, potentially fighting Tank again. How many times can he do it?
What do you mean?
How many times can he take that punch?
Oh, you talking about Roach?
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
got a hell.
if he
He's
has
got.
tough fight after tough fight where he's taking shots from these dudes that can hit, like eventually it's gonna crack, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you keep getting hit clean, but the thing is that he's not letting you hit him, right? Like he's a defensive guy. He does use defense. He just has shown that when he gets
Mhm.
caught clean by these guys, he's durable enough to take it. That's why if we're really talking about the Tank fight. What the issue was is that he could. When I was doing the breakdown of the fight, I said he's gonna get hit. He's gonna get put to sleep, right? He's moving up in weight and all that.
Right.
But when he was durable enough to take it, then that fight on paper didn't make sense to be really competitive. Because skill wise, he has skills and everything like that, and Tank doesn't punch a lot, so that's the whole thing. All right, what else
I
you got on
agree.
that? Or Mike, did you give yours on that one? I know you
Oh
got
yeah, it's
50-50.
about 70-30 Tank.
Oh, okay. I thought you could go 50-50.
Final fight: the monster Naoya Inoue versus Jesse Bam Rodriguez Franco.
Why you have to make me put this on wax, Matt? Why'd you have to do it?
I'm just curious what he thinks.
I think that is a 65-35 in a way.
80-20 anyway.
100% in a way.
I
And
think this is 100-0 for Inoue.
and I think that as this fight gets closer, the more breakdown I do, I might get tighter with that tight fight.
Andrew, I think the more you see and the more breakdown you do, the wider that gap is going to appear.
I'm not sure about that.
He wants nothing to do with Inoue, and you guys are going to find out why. All right. Those are the fights. We booked the territory. Hopefully, Ezra have time to make some graphics for some of these fights. All right, let's get into quick hits and then take this show on the road. Albert Bell, Andy Cruz bout falls apart. Supposed to be an IBF fight or eliminator. Could have been for the title. I don't know what the hell's going on. Why they can't agree on the money. Uh, is this a missed opportunity if this fight doesn't get made, Ezra?
Yeah, I thought this was a really good fight to be made because I didn't think that Cruz had really lost that much stock in his loss. I thought he looked good. I thought he was in a good competitive fight with a top guy. And I thought that Albert Bell was the guy that needed opportunity, right? He needed opportunity, and this is a good opportunity. Two guys that one Cruz don't have a big name, but he's a good fighter, and Albert Bell doesn't have a big name, but he's a good fighter. And two guys should fight each other to put themselves to the next level. So I don't. It's really disappointing to me this fight's not happening because it was a fight that I was excited for.
Well, let's not say it's not happening.
Well, okay, I was really disappointed that
It's
this
going to
fight
purse
is.
bid now.
It's going. Oh, okay, well then we're looking all right.
Yeah, but they thought they had a deal, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what
that's my
happened? Is this
problem.
one of those things where they had an agreement, promoted and put the money where they were supposed to in a trust or something like that?
No, this is all Eddie Hearn.
Okay.
This is Matchroom.
Do you
Matchroom's
think?
making the fight. It was supposed to be
Oh, so
at
Matchroom
first.
doesn't want to match Cruz up with Albert Bell.
No,
No,
they
I think it's
do.
just. I think it's just the money.
Got you.
Yeah, at first the fight was supposed to be on the Boots Zaya's undercard. They didn't get it done in time for that. Albert Bell told our guy Boomer when Boomer interviewed him last week at Benavidez versus Zerto that the fight was happening mid to late July, and now we're hearing that it's falling apart. So it's just gonna go to purse bid, I guess, and Eddie's gonna win the purse bid, and now both guys are gonna have to be happy with the money.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean it's
Or
unfortunate
brunch
for Albert
boxing can
Bell.
step in, man. Or brunch boxing can step in.
It,
Honestly, that's probably where you just nailed it. Is that strategically, it's better for Eddie to go to purse bid.
yeah, I mean, it's really unfortunate for Albert Bell of all people. He's been trying to fight for this opportunity to actually put his name in the title contention, have the opportunity to fight for a belt for a long time. He's been passed over by a lot of the sanctioning or by one or two of the sanctioning bodies when he's been in that position for a number of years. And so hopefully this comes through for him. Hopefully he's able to get that opportunity against Andy Cruz and maybe come out victorious and become a champion eventually.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. That's all we got for today, man. Hey, good stuff, Az. You really brought your A game today, man.
I tried it.
Good,
I can
good,
bring
good
my
to
A
see.
game once a week. You know what I mean?
Good
Like
to
a
see.
pitcher. Every
Good to
7
see.
days, you
Yeah.
get me back out there, I'm throwing 99 to 100.
Good to see, man. Hey, listen, this is the new brunch boxing. We out here. We're all monetized and shit. We got super chats and stuff now. So if they want to support the show, they can support the show directly with the super chat. I don't know how that works. I'm sure Ezra knows how that works.
I did not.
Uh, we're doing things, Ezra.
It's a new era, like Triple H was saying.
What will you be doing for the brunch boxing audience this week?
I'm going to be scoring Wardley Dubois. I'm going to be scoring some Zuffa fights. I'm going to working on an. I know that everybody says it's late, you shouldn't do it anymore. In a way, Junto breakdown. I'm also going to be working on David Benavidez' Zerto breakdown because you know what? You can't rush art. That's the thing. It's like no one told Picasso like, hey, if this ain't out by Sunday, what I mean, might as well scrap it. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not doing content. I'm doing art when I do a breakdown. Okay, you got to understand that. There's no timeline on a painting. There's no timeline on a perfect photograph. Okay, there just isn't.
Matt, do you see this? He's stealing Brian Campbell's shtick.
Nah.
BC with the BDE.
Come on, man.
Stealing his whole flow, word for word, bar for bar.
Shout out to you, man. I will say we do have some comments from the
Hey,
listeners.
hold up. We got our first super chat.
Oh, let's go.
Shout out to listener iDrum875. Shout out to you. Shout out to all the listeners. Be sure to go to brunchboxing.com for all the latest news. Follow Matt at isthatyourface on X. Follow Ezra Boxing, myself _Huey P. Mike at Ninja Turtle. Mike, what's the numbers? 99?
Yep, 99.
Ninja Turtle 99. The I is a 1.
Yeah, that's the key part because I always try to look for Mike to tag him and stuff. And I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Nah, you see, I never had no problem tagging Mike.
I never have any problem tagging Mike either.
Come on, Az. But we do have some comments from the listeners. My guy Noel says Ezra's hate for Canelo is wild, blinding him for real.
Blinding. That sounds like
Blinding.
Never mind. Just gonna keep going. I'm telling you, I don't see it. It's not my hate, honestly. It's just like,
hey, the people have spoken, Ezra.
I'm just saying, like, bro, and Bealey is a top 168 guy. Whatever you think of the division, he's the top guy at 168. He's a strong, durable dude. Canelo's power has not been there. Like, you gotta think this is a guy that won full 12 with Berlanga. Shiraz took out Berlanga. Like, it was like he didn't belong in the ring with him. Sometimes you're just fighting at a different speed, and that's the case. I will say this: I did like the way Canelo looked at times versus Crawford. I thought Crawford actually got a good version of Canelo, but there's the one thing: the power isn't there anymore. That's because his timing's not there anymore. That's because the speed's not 100% there anymore. His reaction's not there 100 anymore. He can't walk you into shots like he used to. Okay, he can't do it. So when you're telling me he's gonna go up against a guy that's strong, hits hard, is gonna work, has a work rate. Did you see him versus Lester Martinez? Did you see the work rate? I get what you guys are saying, but it's like, hey, this isn't a Skull in there. This isn't a guy that's going to try to avoid and not score enough to where Canelo could just march him down and score to the body, win a decision. It's not Berlanga, who's not good. Who's not good? Like, that's the thing. Berlanga's not good. He went 12 with him. Okay, he wasn't that good. Okay, he's not good. Munguia, right? To me, this is a guy that's more durable, who's gonna work and do all these things. I don't see it. But like I said, I've been wrong before. Listen, I thought Canelo was gonna be Crawford. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But right here, what I'm seeing, I just think that's a trouble matchup. And I think this is a guy that's trying to prove that he's relevant still.
All right, we got a comment from Cassius. You don't want Inoue as your first fight moving up. It's not the
That
move.
that's an excellent point. That is
Come
an
on.
excellent point.
Exactly.
Let's see how Vargas looks.
Exactly.
Let's see how Bam looks at 118.
We got a comment from Basquiat NYC. Matt is so fanned out by Tank.
Does
Hey,
it hurt, Matt, because that's coming from your own city?
hey, listen. He's not allowed to comment anymore unless it's a super chat comment.
Chris, comments don't make it to the screen anymore unless then.
Yeah, he's not allowed to comment no more unless it's a super chat.
Ezra, I do think that, like, I don't know, man. I think I hear what you're saying with Canelo and the power and Mbili and him fighting Mbili. We'll have more conversations on this, but like saying he didn't have the power, if you're looking at guys like Berlanga and Munguia, like Mbili is not necessarily a big 168 pounder like those guys are. And so then he might not have the same type of durability as those guys do. And he's going to be missing a lot more punches against Canelo, I think, with his upper body movement than he was against Lester. So that's gonna impact his endurance as we go later in the fight, or even into the mid rounds of the fight, where he's coming forward and Canelo's able to maybe walk him into a shot, and that momentum is also on top of the power that Canelo's throwing. Well, we didn't see that, and it's like people thought, okay, yeah, his power is going to be a difference in the Crawford fight. Crawford was just too good for him to land cleanly, and Bailey's not rolling with punches like that.
Here's the thing. Look at the Ryder fight. Look at Munguia. Look at Berlanga. His power, Canelo's power is non-existent second half of the fight.
Look at Ryder's face.
No, I get you, but his power is non-existent second half.
He knocked down Munguia twice. He held him up once. He could have stopped Munguia. I honestly believe he could have stopped Munguia. I believe he chose not to.
I don't buy that at all. I do love when people say that though. I showed mercy. I love that. I do love that. Show some mercy. I'll not showing mercy.
We'll talk about this more, but like before we end the show here, just like the last thing I'm going to say on this is go watch, like, I can't remember the exact round, but it's in like the last 4 rounds of that fight. There's a spot where Canelo catches him with an uppercut. Munguia starts like his legs buckle and Canelo catches him.
Is this like when Floyd?
He clinches him and catches him.
Is this like when Floyd caught Logan Paul and kept him up?
No.
Just tell you guys right now, I love that to show mercy. But I'll tell you this, even if that, I see that as weakness because Mbili's not showing no mercy. I'll tell you that.
He fought him a plane afterward. Of course, it was weakness.
I'll tell you right now. Well, that's weakness. Then I'll tell you that right now.
He doesn't like Mbili like that.
You know who loves Zerto? David Benavidez. He broke his skull. You know who has respect for Zerto? He does, because I've seen them in the gym together. They like each other. They're friendly. He broke his skull. That's what I'm saying. There's one thing being friendly, or there's one thing being like, I'm a top fighter and I'm gonna take you out. Let me tell you something. Canelo don't have that kind of. He don't have that oomph anymore.
Different mindsets. Canelo's a prize fighter. David's just a fighter.
Oh man, I remember when Canelo used to be a fighter.
All right, Matt. Send the people home.
Hey man, make sure you guys go check out the Brunch Boxing website, www.brunchboxing.com. Also, subscribe to our YouTube page, our Fast Rising YouTube page. Make sure you go share it. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you are in the comments and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you go subscribe. Hit us up with the super chat, something like that. Or you can always hit the Cash App at $ Is That Your Face? Subscribe on Spotify. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Would you believe, Ezra, Apple Podcasts accounts for 43% of our podcast listens?
No shit.
That is amazing.
I had no idea.
43%. So subscribe, give us a rating on Apple Podcasts. Show your boys some love, man. Hey, you know what? I'm going to be back with a post-fight show. Fabio Wardley, Daniel Dubois. Because I have a feeling we're going to see some shit in that show.
That's for sure.
Yeah, but if Fabio Wardley wins, I will not be back for a post-fight. But yeah, I will be back for a post-fight. Make sure you guys go check that out. But this has been another edition of Brunch Boxing. He is our COO, the Mexican Al Heyman Mike. He is our producer, Huey P. He is the host of Brunch Boxing, Ezra Boxing. I am Matt. We are Brunch Boxing, and we are out.
Fight news. It's not fight news. It's brunch boxing.
Brunch boxing, man. Y'all. Brunch boxing, man. Y'all.